So to anybody who's interested,
how's that pint?
There's still some in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm taking a
Saving
break.
it for anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
For you. For my friend Mary.
For
yes.
my friend Mary. There's a wonderful museum in Clinton called the Russian Icon Museum.
Oh yeah, you went.
And it is phenomenal.
You and Galen went.
Galen and I went on a little day trip, and a private owner has 300 pieces of this amazing Russian artwork that had been a private collection, and the gentleman is in his 70s, I believe, and his wife finally said, "We're done. We're not keeping them in the house anymore." So he opened a.
Where would he put them?
I don't know. They must have had a large home, but at any rate, he funded this museum, and it's kind of one of a kind, I think, and has the largest collection of Russian icons in the country. And it only costs $5 to go through, and it is so phenomenal. The process of the art is, if you've ever seen, interestingly enough, the Russian eggs or the Ukrainian eggs.
The nesting ones?
Yeah, not the nesting ones, but the actual eggs that you wax and dye, and then you take the wax off, and they have these intricate designs on them. That process is similar to batiking, which is you start with white and then go to the next lightest, so you're progressively going to the darkest color, and then you remove all the wax. In this particular process, it's a paint, but it starts from the darkest paint as a base layer, and you float color after each of them dries. It's not paint strokes, but floating the color on, and then moving it away and letting it dry between layers, and it's and then whatever preservative that it has on it. But the tools that are used to and the dyes are there's a tutorial that I sat and listened to for at least 45 minutes, and it wasn't completely finished yet, but it was so intriguing and interesting, and it's an interpreted tutorial. The gentleman who's actually doing the art.
In Russian or in
well, there's the painter is explaining in Russian what he's doing, and then there's an English voiceover.
I see.
And they have these really huge pieces that are it's the same design you might see over and over and over again, and but in different sizes, or maybe a little slightly different color, or but they also did not just portraits but calendars, and a calendar may consist of a piece of wood. It's usually wood or some fabric attached to wood that would be the paint applied to. And very often when they did these calendars, there would be groups of tiny little, and they were always saints or biblical characters that told a story, and they were, maybe there were 5 characters in one line, and then the whole thing would be overcast. There would be a central, maybe building or something in the center of the calendar, if you will, and then there was this intricate metalwork, which was detailed and carved and placed around these individual little characters, but the characters that were so tiny were as detailed as the larger ones. It was jaw-droppingly beautiful.
Wow.
And so anybody who is interested in art and certainly this particular, because a lot of it was destroyed. He has pieces from the 1300s. And
really?
Yeah, there's some, I can't remember now, right now, there's some controversy going on because the Russian government would like to have some of those pieces back, but they're a private collection. So, and he opened this, but it's phenomenal. And
so close.
It's Clinton, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
And so,
and you had never been there?
I had never been there. I'd heard about it. Yeah. And it's worth the trip. It's really worth the trip. Yeah. And
is it in a house now, private house, or
no?
He
bought a building on one side. It is one of those streets that here in New England that we have that come together kind of at a point.
Yep.
As opposed to a 45-degree angle. It's a sharper angle. And so the front of the building is actually what looks like it's over a river. I think over a river through which. There's water nearby. I can't remember exactly, but it looks like the front of a mill building.
Okay.
Brick front, very New England. The back side is extremely contemporary, and you would never put the two together, really. But he put it all together. And the exhibit.
Is he still alive?
He is, and he actually has another small collection of African art that he is. Excuse me 1 second. Maybe I'll call her right back. That he is renting just down the street from another businesswoman in Clinton that has like a consignment shop or something. I'm not sure exactly what her business is, but the reason I found out about that was because of Hollis.
Oh yeah.
And this woman had come up from Connecticut to go to the Russian Icon Museum, and it was, I don't know if it was Sunday afternoon or what the issue was, but it was closed. So this lady was wandering around, and she happened into this woman's store, and they started chatting, and she said, "Oh, but it's closed." And so she said, "Well, the gentleman who opened that is in my back room. He's setting up his African art." So she introduced him, and he walked her down the street, opened up the museum, and let her have a private tour.
Oh my gosh!
So he sounds like a really cool guy.
I guess he does.
Yeah. So please go.
Please go.
It's
we should give this to their website.
Oh,
a testimonial.
That's
right.
Yeah. It's fabulous.
Okay, and so whoever you just called probably wants to call back.
Yeah.
Who was that? Cindy. Oh yeah.
I need to hear about Mummy.
Yes, hear about Mummy. Well, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And good night.
Thank you, and good night.
Okay, good night. Hasta luego. And here's looking at you with your rest of your fish.
My fish
food. Let's take a close up of the fish food. Where is it?
Okay, there's not a lot left.
A little bit of white cardboard at the bottom there. Thank you very much.